Hey guys, it's Michelle. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a fall unhaul, or the last unhaul of 2018. One of my first videos was an unhaul, and it is to date still my most viewed video. So you guys like unhauls, which is great. It's definitely less books than last time. I had been like saving up those books all year, so this is probably about 30 books, so it's definitely not going to be another 20-minute video. So let's get started. I'm going to donate all these books, so let's just go. This is The Museum of Intangible Things by Wendy Wunder. I read this book probably about 6 years ago because I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and I wanted to read books that had bipolar disorder representation. However, this was not good bipolar disorder representation. So I'm not really glad that I read it. It was a very weird ending and, like I said, not good bipolar disorder representation. So it's getting unhauled. The next book was a book that was donated to the library, and then I donated it to myself, and I just realized that I'm never gonna read it, and that's Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer. This was turned into a movie this year. I don't think I'm ever gonna see that. I'm not a big sci-fi person. It's super thin, but I just literally have no interest in reading this. So it's getting unhauled. The next book that I have is Before I Go to Sleep by S.J. Watson. I don't know what this is about. I know that it's regular adult fiction. I know that it's turned into a book. As you can see, this is it was turned into a movie. What? Michelle. As you can see, this is the movie cover, but I just don't think I'm ever gonna read it, so it's getting unhauled. The next book that I'm going to unhaul is a book that I recently read this month, and you will see it again for my, what is it? November wrap-up, and that is Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller. I gave this 3 stars. I'm not a big fantasy person, so it was just fine. I feel like 3 stars for me for fantasy is really good. I listened to this on audiobook. It was fine. It held my attention for the most part, but I'm never gonna read this again. I'm never gonna read the second one. So it's getting unhauled. The next book that I'm unhauling has been on my shelf forever, and it's just time for me to tell you and myself that I'm never gonna read this. And the reason I got it is because I like the movie so much, and that is Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter by Seth Grahame-Smith. I like this movie a lot. I thought this concept was so cool, but I'm never gonna read the book. I'm just gonna watch the movie again. So that's what I plan to do, is just watch the movie again, and will be great. These next 2 books I'm going to do together. I also just read this book this month, and it was not good, and I don't even think I have the sequel. I think I have the 3rd one in the series. So we're just gonna get rid of them, and that's Bad Girls Don't Die by Katie Allender. I will talk about this in my wrap-up, but shit was not good. And then this is the 3rd one, As Dead as It Gets, and I have no interest in reading those, so they'll be unhauled, and I'll let you know about it in my wrap-up. The next book I've also had 4 years, like me living in Maryland years, and that is Alice I Have Been by Melanie Benjamin. First of all, I don't like anything that has to do with Alice in Wonderland. Nothing. I didn't like Heartless by Marissa Meyer. I don't like anything, any kind of retelling, so I'm not gonna like this. I've never picked it up because I don't like Alice in Wonderland. So it's time to go. It's goodbye. No, my books are gonna fall. Woo. Okay. The next book that I have is kind of a new release. I know the second one's coming out in 2019, but I just truly do not give a shit. And that is Roar by Cora Carmack. I know it's fantasy. I know that I don't fucking care, and I don't know why I bought it. So that was my mistake, but now it's gonna go to someone who's really gonna like it. I gotta start going from this other pile. So this next book has a bookmark in it. Check that out. I don't have the dust jacket. I don't know where it is. I probably lost it in a move, but that is The Last Boy and Girl in the World by Siobhan Vivian. I could tell you that I got 10 pages into it and I didn't like it, and I have never picked it up again, so I'm not gonna read it. The next book that I have, I also haven't read, and I'm not going to read, and it doesn't have very good reviews on Goodreads, which is important to me. I'm not gonna lie to you. That is The 100 Lies of Lizzie Lovett by Chelsea Sidoti. One of my friends in my book club has read it, and she really liked it, and we don't agree on anything. So I am not going to like this. I'm not going to waste my time reading it. It's time to go. The next book that I have, I actually got at Y'all Fest last year, and it is just an actual book, not an ARC, but I'm not gonna read it, so sorry. And that is I Never by Laura Hopper. Don't know what this is about. It doesn't have good reviews on Goodreads, so it's just not gonna happen. The next book that I have, I got at a library book sale, so I got it for super cheap, so I don't feel too bad about it, and that is World Shaker by Richard Harland. I don't know why I got this. It's just like a library book sale, the books are so cheap. I think this was like 50 cents, and I was like, yeah, I'm totally gonna read that. Next book, you'll see 3 of these by the same author, and I'm just gonna go through why I am unhauling her books once. That is Hopeless by Colleen Hoover. If you know anything about Colleen Hoover, you know that her books are a little controversial. The stuff that she puts in it is a little controversial. I am not going to sit here and lie to you. I gave 5 stars to Maybe Someday. It was my first Colleen Hoover. I thought it was amazing. I cried at the end. I thought it was well written. I liked the story. I liked everything about it. And then I read, what is that? Slammed? I read Slammed. And spoilers right now, she has a relationship with her teacher. And that just fucking, no. No. So I've seen the videos from the Insane Reader, Caleb, and Whitney from Witty Novels about November 9, and I just don't want to support this author anymore. I've already bought her books, but I'm going to unhaul them. So this is the first one. This is Hopeless. You'll see 2 more of her books, and I won't go into a long rant. I'll just show you those books. So this is the first one. The next book that I have is The Dinner by Herman Koch. I don't know. This was turned into a movie. Haven't seen the movie. Don't want to read this book. Don't know why I got it. Okay. The next book, and I think I have the sequel to it as well somewhere, so you'll see that as well, is The Diviners by Libba Bray. I got 80 pages into this book, and it's just not for me. That's totally okay. It doesn't mean it was bad. It doesn't mean anything. It just means it wasn't for me. So I'm going to give it to someone who it is for, and they'll love it, and I won't have this huge book on my shelf anymore. The next book is a book that I read last month and I really didn't like, and that is The Darkest Corners by Kara Thomas. I ended up giving this 2 stars. I'm never gonna read this again. It was not good, so I'm unhauling it. The next book I wish I didn't have to talk about anymore, and I won't have to talk about it anymore, and that is Perfect Chemistry by Simone Eccles. I'm gonna put my rant review down in the description. I hated this book. I gave it 1 star. I can't wait for it to go away. I think I'm just gonna like fucking throw it away. The next one is Perfect Match by Jodi Picoult. I've had this on my shelf for years and never even thought once about picking it up. And I have other Jodi Picoults on my shelf that like I know I want to pick up, but this is not one of them, so it's leaving. The next book I also read last month? No, September. I read it for Contemporary-a-thon and I did not like it. And that is You by Caroline Kepnes. I gave this 2 stars. Joe was creepy and what he did was creepy, and I liked that it was in second person. It was basically like he was talking to you, but it was too long. It was so drawn out. It was pretty boring. I knew what was gonna happen, so I'm unhauling it. The next book I also read for Contemporary-thon. Didn't like this either. Contemporary-thon was like good and bad. I read so many books in 7 days, but I read books I really didn't like. And that is When Dimple Met Rishi by Senya Menon. I had a real big issue with Rishi's feminism, and I don't recommend this book, like, at all. So, I'm unhauling it. That's my cat dropping books. Hey, we like these books. No, we're getting there. So the next book that I have, I DNF'd, and whatever. It's American Panda by Gloria Cho. I DNF'd this like 130 pages in because I just was not into the narrator or the voice or the story or anything. So it's just leaving. Next book that I am unhauling is The Girl Without a Name by Sandra Block. There was nothing wrong with this book. I actually really like this book. However, I'm never gonna read it again. So what's the point of keeping it on my shelf? There isn't one, I'm unhauling it. Here's another Colleen Hoover. This is Without Merit. This actually came out last year. No. This is another Jodi Picoult. This is Change of Heart. I'm never gonna read it, so just no. This is a book I read a couple months ago, definitely when I had my booktube channel, and that is My Life Next Door by Huntley Fitzpatrick. It was just too young for me. I didn't love the story, so I'm never gonna read it again. So I'm just gonna give it to someone who's gonna love it. So I have these two books, and you're gonna be like, what? And I just want to explain myself. It's The Summer I Turned Pretty and It's Not Summer Without You, books 1 and 2 in the Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy by Jenny Han. I love Jenny Han. I'm getting rid of these because these are the old ugly covers and I have the new beautiful covers, so there's nothing wrong with these. All the things inside are great. It's just I don't love these covers and I have the so pretty new ones. So that's the only reason these are getting unhauled. I just have better versions of these books. This is another Colleen Hoover. This is Confess. She sucks. So these are part of a series, and this was before I knew like what books I liked. I'm just trying to explain myself why I have these books, but I have these books, and that is Sanctum, which is number 2 in Asylum, and Escape from Asylum, which I never actually read. These books were like a ripoff of Ransom Riggs' Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. There's pictures in it, just like there's pictures in those books, but the difference with these books is that they suck. So I'm unhauling those, and I also have one more book by the same author, House of Furies by Madeline Rowe, and I'm just not gonna read it. This is before I knew what I liked, and this also has pictures in it, and it's just not something I'm interested in anymore, so I'm unhauling it. And I have one last book, and that is the sequel to The Diviners, and that's Lair of Dreams. I'm not gonna read this, I only got 80 pages into The Diviners, so I'm done. So those are all the books I am unhauling for fall. My next video that you will see is going to be a haul, which is why I'm getting rid of all of these books, because I need books on my shelves. No, let me start over. I need room on my shelves for books that I'm actually going to read, so I just feel so much better. I feel like I have cleansed myself of these books that I don't really like. So stay tuned for my November haul, and thank you for watching my video. Bye!